The second key was where Hall of Fame speaker is going to talk about his one thing he says to all his speaking, coaching clients. And it's kind of a bit of something I've stolen from Jimmy Cagney, who said, you plant your feet and you tell the truth. But I've recently added, you plant your feet, you connect to the room, and then you tell the truth. And I think the planting of the feet is exactly that. You plant your feet so you reside nowhere else but in that moment, either in front of the camera on your computer and nowhere else, or on the stage but nowhere else, but you are fully present and you are in the moment, and all the strength and all the awareness and everything you've got becomes like a pinpoint of focus. That's where you are. And the second step is that notion of opening your heart to those in the room, connecting to the people in that room. Jaffe says I shouldn't say connecting, but radiating. And I think it's true. I think for me, what I really try and do, and I believe this to be absolutely at some physical level a fact, that we do step in front of an audience and we have the capacity to radiate golden light and caring, genuine caring that will at some level seep into osmotically every single person in that room. It's the kind of wisdom that our bodies have to discern what's true and what's not true, that we've evolved over millennia. I was telling Sean the story this morning of one of my dear friends, Paul Brenner, and I know a lot of you guys from San Diego know Paul, Dr. Paul Brenner. And he was asked one year to give a talk at the Mandala Conference in La Jolla. And I talked to folks that were there, and they said, oh, that was the year that Paul gave that amazing talk. And I said, what did he say? And they said, he didn't say anything. He didn't say a word. And I asked Paul, how could you give a talk? You were the keynote, and not say a word and have it be so powerful? He said, well, I didn't know what to say, but I knew how I felt. So I spent that 45 minutes. I looked every single person in the face, and I said with my heart, I love you. I love you. And then I walked off the stage. I believe that we have the capacity when we connect to everyone in the room. We become like and those of you that have been to Nepal with me have sat by the feet of some of these amazing Rinpoches, these incarnate lamas. It's called darshan. They are radiating simply through the purity of their being, a kind of golden light essence, where when you're before them, before Tuchi Rinpoche or Choki Nyima or the Dalai Lama, you don't think, wow, that guy's cool. You think, wow, I'm kind of cool. You kind of feel yourself growing in your own eyes, feeling all that you are and could be. So the second step of connecting to the room, or connecting to the people that are through that little lens, emotionally, energetically, it's real. And I've got to say that the last 2 months, Jaffe and I have been doing these remarkable programs. She's primarily doing them, and I'm the tech behind the scenes. But she's the breath and their meditation, and people have responded more than once, often, that they felt Jaffe just standing next to them, whether they're in some island in the Caribbean or as far as Portugal. So there seems to be, I know I'm stretching the limits of scientific understanding, there seems to be the capacity for what people call distance healing, that we are able to project our essence multi-dimensionally. It's not just morphic resonance, the tuning forks next to each other, the vibration one affects the other, but it seems to transcend the barriers of space. Again, these are the frontiers we're discovering now through the grace of this challenging time that we have, and things that we can explore as presenters. And finally, the notion that I feel most proud of in my career as a speaker is tell the truth. Tell the truth, meaning if you're caught in a lie or you're presenting something which isn't really resonant to you, then it's not going to be the same as you telling your truth. And there is nothing more enlivening, not just for the audience, but for yourself. If you are walking on the edge of daring, presenting the things that really in your heart you know to be true, the audience will feel this, they'll remember you, and you yourself will be kind of, just fully imbued with a sense of integrity, because you've told your truth. And very often, I remember speaking to AIG right after the 2008 event. We had moved from Cancun to Kansas City, and they were under scrutiny because they had predicated sort of in many ways the whole problem. And they were telling themselves one to the other, oh, we got to get back to the new normal. It's got to be just like the old normal, but better. And I told them that you guys are pretty much the cause of all this. You got to do it differently. Have a heart, and consider others. I didn't sell a lot of books that day, and I never got asked back. but I was very proud of how that went. So I think that's the second step, really. If you can just remember that very simple formula, which is plant your feet, be fully present, connect with all the love in your heart, genuine love, project that, feel it, radiate, and finally tell the truth. Speak from the truest integrity, because in this time of times, that's what we need, are not those who keep saying the new normal and all the things we have heard, but we speak about what is indeed possible. That the edge of a precipice, the only step forward is a step in some entirely different direction. And it's up to each of us to determine what that will be.